Hey everybody, this is TotalGamerJunkie. I want to welcome you all back to my channel. So, I gotta be honest with you, Life is Strange is done. Like, from what I've been hearing, especially with how the ending of the game is going and what they plan to do for a sequel, I just do not see this franchise, even if you create new characters and new stories, I just think it's done. So, there have been some leaks online. Now, I know a bit about the ending, but I never knew the full story, like what's happened, because yes, I got the audio files and I can listen. I have listened to some, so I know stuff about Sophie and her powers and whatnot, but I never actually did the whole ending, because I was like, if they're not gonna respect Chloe in that, that's like really the whole reason I was kind of looking through the files to see if she'd make a return, but no, they don't. No, she doesn't. And Deck 9, apparently, from what I've heard, so before I get into this, let me just start with this rumor I've heard. Apparently, Square Enix wanted to get rid of Chloe. It wasn't all of Deck 9's decision. And Square Enix was going to get another studio to do it anyway if Deck 9 didn't do it. Because according to them, and I shit you not, they want to turn Life is Strange into an MCU style game. And if Square Enix thinks this is going to succeed, I honestly don't believe it will. And the reason is, yes, you play a game where your character has powers, with the exception of the second game. Yes, you can use your powers to help you advance in certain situations, or get information you need, or manipulate people at some points. But it's not about, okay, good versus evil. It was always about how would these people react, how would you realistically act with these powers? What would the choices and consequences be? Because the characters, their story, they always come first, and the powers often help drive their own personal story. But with this, like, so what? You expect? Are they going to make it open world now, where you can, like, something like Infamous? No, I just think that's absolutely ridiculous. Now let's get to the reason why you're here. If you've seen the title, you're probably wondering what I'm talking about. Well, there have been some leaks about what happens at the end, how Double Exposure is going to end, and what the future of the series will be. So this was actually, I think it was from Callie, or reposted from Callie on YouTube. Apparently this post, it reads, and I did know a bit about this, but not all of it. So, the episode 5 leaks are, Max from the future did kill Sophie, who even pushes her to do it to make sure the loop does happen and to avoid a paradox. As she goes through the storm/time vortex to save everyone affected by Sophie, there's a nightmare sequence just like in Life is Strange 1 where Max ends up back into the Blackwell bathrooms and the dark room, which I mentioned before. Despite a glimpse of a redemption, Sophie turns into a villain, tries to convince Max to join her, and leave to find other people with powers. The final choice is to accept or refuse. At the end, the timelines have merged, everyone remembers what happened and knows that Max and Sophie have powers. Moses asks Max if she will go back to Arcadia Bay / stop hiding from Chloe, and the player can choose her answer. They tease an Avengers-like sequel at the end with Sophie as the villain, Diamond also having powers, and Max Caulfield will return. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, after this, it kind of puts a bad taste in your mouth, because I just don't see Max being a villain. There's no way. Like, top of my head, I can only think of 2 times in Life is Strange where Max does what you consider an evil choice. The first is, and actually they're both in episode 4. The first is letting Chloe shoot Pompidou and then Frank, and not rewind, just continue on, even though you can do it. And the second choice is not warning Victoria about the darkroom, despite knowing that Jefferson's going to be targeting her next. So to me, those are, I'd say, evil choices. That they're the only evil choices I can really think of in the game. If any of you have any other ideas, let me know. But Max is not an evil person. Max was given powers that she didn't ask for, and in the end had to make an impossible choice. There's no way she would go down the villain arc. She knows what her powers are capable of. She knows there's a price to pay when she uses them. And that's why I have no faith in this, because apparently, if you agree, this is another rumor I've heard, if you agree to go with Sophie, Max and Sophie will be the villains in the next game. However, if you don't, Max will either go back to Arcadia Bay, or she'll go to find Chloe. So she won't be in the next game at all, depending on your choices, which is just... Because I don't think we'll be playing as her again, because if Deck 9 don't know how to handle Chloe, don't know how to respect both endings to the first game, how the hell are they going to pull this off? How's this choice really going to matter in the long run when a sequel comes out? I just don't see it happening. And having Max merge both timelines rather than get rid of one, I think it really gets rid of the choice and consequence, because I thought what was going to happen was both the timelines were starting to merge and it was going to cause a disaster, and Max would have to, in order to fix this, eliminate one of the timelines so the other one could survive. But now, when Max rather than eliminate one timeline, she merges both of the timelines, and everyone has memories from both timelines, which is, I think it's just ridiculous. And you know what? It actually kind of makes Max look like a dick, because think about it. If Max chooses to romance like Amanda, because I've actually seen the clip of what happened. So, in the second episode, in the first one, if Max tells Amanda she wants to go on a date thing, and then when you get to the second episode, Amanda will say, and this is in the original timeline, she'll tell Max they should take things slow, and so she puts that relationship on break. And now, but Max can go to this other timeline and get with the Amanda of that timeline, because since Sophie's dead, they never put that date on hold. So imagine, like, you'd feel like, you think Max is a complete dickhead, because she's just like, okay, I can't have you in this timeline, I'll have you in this other timeline. And I don't know, it's real sketchy to me, you know? And what's even more sketchy is the fact that if you do decide to romance Amanda or Vin, then Max will have the option to leave with Safi and become a villain. So you kiss Amanda or Vin, possibly spend the night with them. I'm not too sure what's going to happen, but yeah, and then you just like leave them. Okay, it's like there was that game that was mentioned in one of the leaks where Max can play. Well, not in the leaks, in the Brazilian rating, I think it was, where Max has the option to play a game with Smash and Pass, and that's literally what she can do in this game. She can smash Amanda or Vin and then leave with Sophie. So she smashes and she's like, I'm out. It's just ridiculous. Well, anyway, that's really the end of this video. Not really much to talk, more of a rant. But there is one last thing I want to mention before I go, and it's towards, if you haven't seen the post I made on YouTube, apparently there's going to be a message from Chloe. She will respond to Max and ask if she's okay, and we don't even get the option to reply to Chloe. Max is apparently going to ignore that message. It's like, if you didn't want Chloe in the game, just make the sacrifice Chloe ending canon. Why lie and do all this bullshit? But anyways, that's really the end of this video. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. This is TotalGamerJunkie, signing off.